Good? All right. Jason Dusterhoff, Dusterhoft, the commander of the downtown area. I'd like to welcome everybody for coming today. This is going to be a really fun night for everyone. Halloween is one of the best events downtown. You get to see a lot of costumes. You get to see a lot of people that have a really good time. But we really want to remind everybody a few simple tips to make sure they have a really good time. One thing is, if you see anything suspicious, we want you to call 911. We want you to find an officer. We want you to report it. That's a really big thing. If you see anything suspicious, you make sure you give us a call. There's going to be no glass containers or open containers for alcohol on 6th Street during this event. So you cannot have any open containers or alcohol on 6th Street. Children under the age of 17 need to be off the streets if they're not accompanied by a guardian by 11 p.m. Otherwise, they're going to be ticketed and turned back to their parents. We're going to have a lot of extra officers out on Halloween. We want to make sure this is a very safe time for everyone. We're going to have extra officers in plain clothes, extra officers in uniform, mounted out here, Air One. We're going to have a lot. So we think it's going to be a very safe night. 6th Street will be closed to vehicular traffic at 6 p.m. That means from, let me start over for that one. I think it's 6th Street is going to be closed to vehicular traffic from Red River to Brazos. And then the side streets, Natchez, Trinity, and Brazos. Brazos, Natchez, and Trinity are the side streets that are going to be closed. Now, this whole area, after we close it off at 6 p.m., we're going to start towing vehicles. Now, we've already have notices up to make sure drivers are aware today and going into tomorrow where they know they cannot park. After 6 p.m., we are going to start towing their vehicles. This has not been a problem. That last Saturday, we only had to tow a few vehicles, so I think a lot of people listened to our heed and heeded the warning. One goal, we'd like to make sure that citizens get downtown safely and they drive home safely. Arrive Alive is kind of our plan to drink responsibly. I'd like to have Lieutenant Keith Walker talk a little bit about this. So, Keith?
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Keith Walker, WALKER, with the Austin Police Department, DWI Enforcement Unit. The Austin Police Department believes that everybody in the city of Austin should be able to take advantage of the many social events that we have here. But when those events involve alcohol, we want to make sure that everyone makes good, safe, responsible choices. Because of this, we will be conducting a no refusal initiative from October 31st at 9 p.m., Halloween night, through Saturday morning, November the 2nd, at 5 a.m. The no refusal initiative means that if someone stopped for DWI and they don't give a voluntary sample, we will be seeking a search warrant for their blood. There's many alternatives to driving while drinking, and we hope that everybody makes a good choice. There's always a taxi, designated drivers, and of course there's always a possibility of staying at one of the many excellent hotels near the entertainment venues. We do remind people that when they do choose a designated driver, that they please, if you're the designated driver, that you please make sure that you don't drink, don't give in to temptation, and go ahead and make sure that you stay sober to get your friends home safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Walker. Underage drinking obviously can become an issue. It's important for family members to have that discussion with loved ones before they go out. One of the things I'd like to do is introduce Gloria Suhami with the Travis County Underage Drinking Prevention Program. Gloria's always helped us out, been a partner with APD, and we really appreciate her. Gloria, would you like to come on up?
Yes, thank you. I'm Gloria Suhami. I'm the director of the Travis County Attorney's Office Underage Drinking Prevention Program. And I wanted to say today that ghosts and goblins aren't the only things to be scared of this Halloween. Drunk drivers continue to threaten our lives and safety. The message for this Halloween is, if you're under 21 and choose to add alcohol to your Halloween festivities, you are breaking the law. If you're an adult and thinking of serving alcohol to minors, you are also breaking the law. Providing alcohol to a minor is a Class A misdemeanor that could result in a fine of up to $4,000, up to 1 year in jail, and a possible driver's license suspension. For parents and other adults, help your teens enjoy a safe and sober Halloween night by encouraging, supporting an alcohol-free celebration. If you're over 21 and choose to drink, plan ahead for a safe ride by calling a cab or getting a designated driver, and that is someone who has had no alcohol at all, to be the driver for Halloween night. Thank you.
Thanks, Gloria. One of the things we want to remind everybody when they're coming down on 6th Street, when they have a lot of costumes, some of these costumes can include some type of weapon or something that appears to be a weapon. So I want to go over some of the prohibited weapons and items that you cannot have downtown. You cannot have any kind of firearms, relics, swords, illegal knives, clubs, or any sharp pointed objects. Anyone carrying an item that I just mentioned will be arrested. Their items will be seized, and they're looking at anywhere from a Class A misdemeanor to a 3rd-degree felony if they bring it into a bar. So we really want to remind people, if you have anything that looks like a knife, we want it to be cardboard or something very flexible, something that we could easily see that it's not real. Because officers down here, if you have a gun that looks real, we have to treat it like that. We want to make sure that people understand what is allowed down here and what is not. So the easiest way, again, is to make things very obvious that it's not a real weapon. Everybody, APD included, wants everyone to come down and have a great time. We don't want anyone to have to end up in our haunted house where there's bars on the wall, bars on the door, where they can't get out. And there's some easy ways, like I explained earlier, to make sure they avoid that. We're going to have zero tolerance with any kind of fights, any kind of drinking downtown, everything. We want people to be able to have, as a family, to come down here and enjoy themselves. Now, here's some tips just for the people at home and for the kids. We want to make sure that if you're having people over, make sure you turn your porch light on. If you're not home, leave it off so kids know to not go up to that door. If you have any lit jack-o'-lanterns, make sure you take that away from the place where the kids are going to be grouping up. Drive very slowly all evening. You never know what kind of creature is going to dart out, and that could be some little child that's not paying attention because they're really excited. So no matter where you are tonight, any residential area, we really encourage everybody to slow down, go under the speed limit, and really keep an eye out for the kids. We want you to report any suspicious activity right away to 911. We want to be able to know if you think somebody is out there that shouldn't be or that is suspicious. We want you to actually have a route for your trick-or-treaters so the kids know where they're going, where they're ending up at. The parents are with them the entire time. We don't want them to take any unopened candy. If you have items that are fresh, we want to make sure that the parents inspect it before the kids eat it. We don't want any of the kids to eat any of the items until the parents get home and actually get a look at the candy. One of the big things we also want to encourage is to not let kids cross between parked cars. You know, in a second, they can be right out there where a person that's driving is not going to see them. So keep your kids very close. Like I said, I know they're very excited, but we want to make sure they're safe. So that means keep up with them. And if you have to, run sometimes with them, that's what we encourage you to do. But keep them very close to you. I think that's it. Does anybody have any questions? And we could do Lieutenant Walker, too, if you have questions about the DWI stuff, or Gloria. Anyone? Going once? Twice? Well, thanks you all for coming.